Now in this particular spot where I am standing right about now is where we're going to set up our 300 goat structure capacity for our client located in Boyale. Boyale is in Chirandongo district, about 250 something kilometers away from the capital city of Uganda, Kampala. So for those of you who do not know where we are, I guess you now have a clue. Yes. Now, something interesting about this particular structure is we've made modifications. Yes, we do modifications or specifications depending on a customer. We customize that particular structure to your needs. That's why sometimes it is very difficult for us to just mention the price as is. However, in this particular video today, I'm just going to give you hints on prices. Yes, I'm going to mention the price, but at the tail end of this video. So please look out for that aspect as well. How much did it cost us to construct this particular pen here in Boyale district? But if you're new here, please do ensure that you subscribe. My name is Dennis Duke Wonyala, your agriculture companion. We shall move this whole country showcasing the beautiful agriculture ventures that there are in Uganda. But also we shall move out of Uganda, we shall go to Kenya, we shall go to Tanzania. Globally, we shall reach wherever agriculture is. And just so you know, please go to Sungura House Bukoto and support us. We have amazing foods, amazing meals, among many others. Now, like I was telling you, this structure that we are constructing today, or that we've constructed here, has a little bit of new things that we've added in there. Now, I'll be explaining each one and why we used it, among many others, of course, including the cost implications. So please come with me. Let's go and get started. Now guys, unlike previously where I have started with explaining the goat structure itself, today I thought it wise for us to start from the exercise ground, explain everything here, then later I move you over to our raised goat structure. Guys, this is a raised goat structure. We've always, and again, talked about the advantages of actually having a raised goat structure. Yes, there are quite many, and if you missed out on those, please do check my YouTube channel because we have all those uploaded as well. Now I'll start with this chain link. Now this chain link is the heavy duty one. I speak heavy duty one, or I mention heavy duty one because this is our exercise ground. Now most of the time our goats are going to be in the exercise ground, and they're going. And just for you who don't know what an exercise ground actually means, this is an area where our goats are going to spend the rest of most of their time actually, while they've come from the field, while they are resting here, just waiting for the night to come and then go in their structure. They're going to spend most of their time here. And that is why we use this heavy duty chain link. It's 12 point, I think it's 12, not I think, it is 12 gauge, and not every company does the best, so you can consult with us to tell you which company actually produces better. So whichever country you're watching this from, I don't know which companies are there, but you can do research so that you know which company does the strongest of chain link. Now, the reason as to why I told you we do that is because goats are very playful animals. They love rubbing themselves around this chain link. So if you have a weaker chain link, you're going to have issues within a few months after construction of your structure. Like I said, everything here is custom made. Let me take you to something else as well. Another reinforcement that we are going to make on this particular exercise ground, the fencing exactly to be specific, is we are going to add a wire here, or if not a wire, crossing over here on top to enhance its strength. We might put poles or timbers, just like we are going to do down here. Now, why we're putting timbers down here is because goats love, scratching themselves. And now if they keep pushing this, it will kind of bulge a bit. It will have funny shape. So by putting poles here, we are literally curtailing them from getting themselves, rubbing themselves on this particular chain link. Now, if you can see in this exercise ground as well, we've measured its, now how big the exercise ground is entirely depends on you, number one, but also on your service provider. Now for us here, we usually give you the minimum. But once we talk to a client, we advise them on what to do, they usually, of course, ask for us to add them. And for this particular client, we've done a 60 feet by 60 feet all sides. Yes, 60 here on the width, 60 on the length as well. And like I told you, we've reinforced it with some concrete down here within the poles, just so to give them a bit of strength. Away from the fencing of the exercise ground, we also have these eating or sheds or resting area where every time they come from the field, they'll be making a stop over here and get to eat something within eating spaces that we have provided for our customer. We've put feeding troughs. They are 4 in number. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. They are still under construction to ensure that they meet the best quality standard ever. And the width, again, all these can be specified or modified depending on what somebody wants. But for this one, you can do maybe 15 feet by 3 or 4 feet, again, depending on what you want. These are our feeding troughs. The goats, after going for grazing out there, they'll be coming back. This is where they'll be finding some food. Now we do this because we want to force a customer or a client to supplement our goats. It is very important that you supplement the feeding for your goats, because out there, just grazing them out there, sometimes they don't get the nutritional value that they require for proper growth, for proper development. So it is important that you supplement, and that is why you need these things, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have other feeding troughs in there, and I'll explain why we have two. Number one, when it is sunny like it is right now, you can leave the goats to be out here and feed from these feeding troughs. When it's raining, you have an option of taking them direct to the structure and they eat from there. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're constructing, it's important to anticipate those tough times. Now, the tough times we're talking about is rainfall and sunshine. When it's raining, you want your goats to be in a shed. Now, in that shed, they won't just be there sitting and lying and doing nothing. They need to be eating to convert the food into muscles that my colleague Hamisi usually talks about. All this on the same price that I'll be telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, from the first eating troughs, I want to also show you something here that we usually do. I don't know whether you know the importance of why we do it. Now, as this is our raised goat structure, goats tend to kind of want to go beneath the structure. In fact, there are times where I have gone to some customers and you found that their goats actually access where the poop or the droppings and the urines go, which we highly discourage. As you can see here, we've put this set of chain link again, cutting across from every angle or every corner of the structure. From that point to the tail end, all enclosed like you're seeing here. Of course, it's not completely done. We are going to add more reinforcement, more poles, so that our goats don't have to scratch on this chain link, ladies and gentlemen. And then they also don't have access where the droppings and the urine fall. Now, for this customer, he is more likely going to cement down here, because we did realize he has interest in the goat urine as well. So for him, he's going to cement down here and be able to collect both the urine and the droppings. Now, it is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, what we've been wanting to showcase with you has finally come. I think let me start from down, why we used something here as opposed to what we've previously been using. You can see we've used pillars and not poles to support our raised goat structure. When we came to Weyale district, we did realize a few things, of course, with the help of our customer, that This area has a lot of termites. Now, termites are a problem to our structures, and sometimes, we advise, sometimes actually, not even we advise, sometimes customers want to kill or deal with termites, but in the long run, they still catch up with them. So what we did advise this customer was to use pillars. That, of course, changes a little bit of the costing, but yes, it is very, very necessary that we use these pillars, concrete pillars, in areas where we are very certain that the termites are going to be a problem. Now, there is no need of you investing that huge amount of money to do a construction, and within a couple of months, it is down simply because, well, you didn't use concrete poles. We only do that where a customer has either requested or where for example, we previously constructed a goat structure for about 50 goats, and what we realized in that area was it was a swamp. Now, being a swamp, it required a lot of reinforcement here and there to ensure that that structure withstands the weather, withstands the water-logged area, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why we did use concrete poles on the other structure as well. And we've used this because of that reason. Now, still, the beauty is the strength increases. Yes, it increases on the strength, just like, but even when you do the poles, it's still strong because for us, we don't compromise on quality. I've always re-emphasized that. Quality is the best thing you can ever do. So let's go up and I show you how everything has turned out in our goat structure. Come with me. Oh, by the way, we haven't constructed the ladders as yet, or what is it called? The staircase to our structure. So I'm going to use our builder's ladders to just go up here. Yeps, I am finally in our structure. So this is our raised goat structure, and ta-la-la-la-la-la. Welcome aboard, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this where I'm standing is our common area. What do I mean by our common area? This simply means that this area is where they all converge and get to go into different sections. Now, we've separated our structure into 5 basic, areas. And these I'm going to explain depending on the customer's need. You might want to use this for this, this for that, this for that, this for that. I'll start off with this section, ladies and gentlemen. This one has been carefully separated for our males. Now I'm going to talk to our client and see if we can divide it because the space looks a bit bigger. But yes, this has a door to here. And this is where our males are going to be sleeping. We did talk about natural synchronization, where you want to breed your goats all at once. So it is important that you separate the males from the females, but also that helps you when it comes to issues of inbreeding, ladies and gentlemen. Away from that, still around this common area, we have about 3 doors. This is door 1, door 2, and door 3. Now, door 1, this one, leads us to one of the compartments. Door 3 leads us to another compartment, and this door in the middle leads us to our feeding area. Now, this is our feeding area. Remember the troughs I talked about earlier? Yes, these are the troughs that I talked about, ladies and gentlemen, and they will be helping us most especially during times when there is rainfall out there, so that we prevent our goats from the coldness out. So this person that is going to feed these goats will be going through this area here, putting food both on both sides for all the goats to actually enjoy. The same thing happens or applies onto the other side of the structure. Let me take you. This is the other section that I told you that looks just like the other section we are from talking about. This side, there will be a set of goats. This other side will be a set of goats as well, and this is their feeding area. As you can see, the person feeding just comes here like this, opens this this way, and walks comfortably here. We've made it wide enough for them to be able to move without any disturbances, without any interferences whatsoever. Yes, this is how our goat pen structure looks like. Now, for those of you who've been asking me about the price, hold up, I'm not yet done. Let me first take you a little bit back to show you something that we earlier on talked about, and that's none other than our feeding area where the goats will be resting, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is how they look like. They are 4 in number, something like that. They'll be feeding from there. It's quite big. It can even accommodate about 400 goats depending on the breed and how, of course, you multiply them. This is where our staircase is going to be, all the way towards our structure. So for those of you who've been asking about the prices, I'll just give you an estimated kind of pricing, because every structure, every location has its set of rules and set of demands, and sometimes customers demand for certain things that actually makes the prices be very, very different. Now for 50 goats, it ranges between 6.5 to 7.5 million Uganda shillings. For 100 goats, it ranges between 9.5 to 10.5 million Uganda shillings. For 200 goats, it ranges from 12 million to about 13.5 depending on the location. And for a structure like this of 300 goats, it ranges between 20 million to about 24 million Uganda shillings in case you're constructing it, depending on your location. We are speaking Ugandan money. Yes, Ugandan money, and that the current dollar rate is at about 3,600. Let's take that for a fact. Yes, 3,600. So do the multiplication, and you'll be able to know the pricing for these structures. Whichever the customization, please ask for it. We shall customize and then give you, a complete guide on what to do. We also do what we call business plans. We do designs for these structures. So please reach us out on those numbers and I'll be more than glad to serve you. My name is Dennis Duke Woniala. Until then, we shall be catching up. But for now, keep subscribing, share this video to every person that you know of. Until then, see you at Sungura House Bukoto. Ciao.